Hello everyone, Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. I wanted to continue our series today on influential people. I made that shout out for names to be brought forward. You answered in spades, which means that tells me that you do want to hear about inspirational people. One of the people on the list was David Attenborough. Now, most people know David Attenborough. I would hope most people know David Attenborough. He is a natural historian. He is a film and TV producer. He is a writer and he is an earth advocate. You would know his wonderful, beautiful series, Life on Earth, The Blue Planet, The Living Planet, and the more thought-provoking documentaries, Are We Changing the Earth? Most recently, Climate Change, The Facts. Now, in that documentary, he warned of the failure to act could lead to the collapse of our societies. I think we are currently living in the knowledge that this earth is not, we don't have, there's no guarantee of that we won't have natural viruses that have perhaps been dormant in time for since the early phase of our Earth. We have no guarantee that those viruses won't re-emerge. We have no guarantee that we won't see wildfires like we did in Australia in 2019 and 2020, or wildfires in California, or earthquakes, or tsunamis. We have no guarantee that these natural events won't start to to accelerate. So today I want to do a couple of things. I want to first of all tune into the earth energy, and I want to look at what messages that Gaia wants to bring forward. Also want to look at if there is any warnings for us coming up in the future. And let's take a look at these viruses. There is a speculation that COVID-19, indeed coronaviruses, have been around for a long time, and that COVID is a re-emergence of an old virus or a mutated virus. I also want to look at how we can change, or what we need to do to change. Of course, we've had a slowing down of the kind of pollution that causes or leads to climate change because of COVID-19. That was only a brief reprieve as economies start to, to restart and ratchet up their industrial activity. What are some of the consequences? I saw a very good documentary of a doctor, an MD, who specialises in the study of viruses, say that it was only a question of time before a virus emanated from one of the most industrialised, polluted parts of the world in China, and that was Wuhan. So if we don't learn from this, what is the future for us? We know now nothing is guaranteed. I want to look at David Attenborough's chakras because he is playing, and I'm just going to say, an almighty role in getting us to understand how beautiful this earth is, and really showing us some of that earth magic that anytime we go out in nature, anytime that we connect with every living thing around us, how special, how magical that can be. So let's get started with some overall messages, and then we'll move into David Attenborough's chakra reading, and then we'll see if we can ask some of those more difficult questions as we finish this session today. So I'm using a couple of decks. I'm using my Earth Magic Oracle cards, and I'm also using my Celtic Tarot, which of course is very slanted to the green earth, if I can just put it like that. The colour green was around me when I was opening up for this reading. So let's get started today. I do have a cup of tea with me, so I may take a sip every now and then. But let's just tune into I should say it's also a cup of chamomile, and it is in a green cup. Mm. All right, let's get started today. All right, so let me just tune back into Gaia's energy, Earth energy. Yeah. Okay, so what messages does Earth have to tell us at the moment? What messages does Earth have to tell us at the moment? So I am seeing the possibility of Earth shifts, the shifts in the tectonic plates. I'm seeing that perhaps some also water around that. So this could be island related to earthquakes underneath the sea around islands. That's the message that I'm getting. So we could see some of that in the future. If we think that the pause in pollution and then just going back to the way we were is going to fix things, it's not. All right, so yeah, I'm just getting this sense of a very ancient soul. The Earth's soul is I'm just seeing that there needs to be, she's had to protect herself. He has had to protect herself, has had to learn to protect herself. So some of the things that we see in relation to viruses, in relation to natural disasters, all of this is part of her rebalancing, I'm feeling. So if you accept that we have chakras, that when we get out of balance, we have to go within, we have to make changes, it is the same with the Earth. And it's, and of course the similarities between us and the Earth is very profound, because we are children of this Earth. We are creations of this Earth. We have more similarities with this, with every living, or a connection with every living thing around us, than what we currently think. We think we are separate. We see ourselves in arrogance as being separate from this Earth, but we are not. We are part of this Earth, which is interesting, because what affects the Earth affects us. Okay, interesting. You have a virus that will wipe out a strain of plant that perhaps isn't in the best interests of the natural order. Then that is going to occur. Why would you think it would be any different with us? All right, so let's have a look at Earth messages, please, Spirit. What do we need to know about this beautiful, beautiful planet that we inhabit, that we are lucky enough to inhabit? What do we need to know? Invocation and ceremony. There is a reverence about this card. I'll just bring the laptop down. This is around honouring our Earth and being seen to honour it, actually doing things. I talked about Earth magic, tapping into the energies that the Earth has to offer, because I don't think we've done that. We've taken things out, we've plundered resources, we have used Earth resources to make money, but we haven't actually tapped into Earth in a wide scale way. Of course, there are groups, there are people that, shamans, for example, tap into the magic of the Earth. But this is saying that it is there for all of us, if only we could, I guess, align ourselves more closely with the Earth. So I'm not talking about paganism. You don't have to go to that extreme. But building in some kind of alignment with Earth on a daily basis will improve your well-being, your health, your well-being, and your ability to manifest, because it's not it's not just as simple as sitting in a grove of trees, laying out some crystals and praying, and then noticing how Earth responds. It's not as simple as that. It is understanding that all of these energies. Now, energy is behind manifestation. And once you know that, once you understand that, manifestation has the ability to provide you with what you want, provide in some ways provide you with abundance. So tapping into this earth energy is actually going to have a rolling effect on your life. Daily practices is what I'm seeing. The desert vision quest, when we went, all through the Bible, and I'm getting a real pull. This is earth. This is the soil, the dirt of the earth. These cards are laid out in terms of ocean energies, air energies, and of course earth energies. So I'm pulling these earth energies. So really, this is about putting feet on the ground, and really, I guess a vision. What is a vision quest? It is going and seeking answers, going and waiting for answers to be given. So the more that we can do this, the more we are contributing to healing the earth. And I've got more earth energy here, strength, the mountains. Everything in nature has is a symbol for us. We often hear, that climbing the mountain is the hardest, the hardest part of any experience, is a steep climb. The strength of a mountain, the immovability, the resilience of a mountain. What does a mountain do? It sees seasons through. So it's there for all time. It is slow to undergo changes. Changes happen over, millions of years, but the strength of the mountain remains. So I'm just getting a pull here to going within or connecting with Earth to understand, to tap into that awareness of the strength of the power of the Earth and aligning with that rather than seeing ourselves as separate. I do have at the basis of the pack, I do have the Sanctuary card, which is again being drawn toward Earth, oceans, and water and the healing power of water. Earth offers us a sanctuary every single day. Regardless of what's going on in civilization or in the so-called civilized society around you, Earth is a sanctuary for you. But there are with this card veiled, there are issues here that the Earth is going through as a result of our separateness from her. We do have to start something again. We do have to move back into this respect of the Earth and everything the Earth offers to us, but also the vulnerability, because I do have volatility. And I talked about the Earth being a mirror to us, reflection. What is volatile in us will be reflected in the Earth around us. This is a wake-up call. I did talk about perhaps a natural disaster involving earthquakes within the oceans around some islands that will perhaps be a wake-up call. Tsunami, a wake-up call. All right, so understanding the strength of the earth, understanding our alignment with the earth, understanding that we are not separate. We are a living organism being on this earth like every other living organism. And if we are detrimental to the environment around us, Earth will do what Earth has always done and the natural order will seek to balance things, and we will get more of these wake-up calls. So let's move to David Attenborough, somebody that understands. Imagine having access to that camera up close and seeing the beauty of the earth unfold, the patterns in every living being, the patterns in a leaf, I guess the bare truth of what nature is and the bare truth of our place in nature. So he gave us a wake-up call. Climate Change, the Facts. If you haven't seen that documentary, you might want to look at it. A warning from David Attenborough: the failure to act could lead to the collapse of our societies. This virus was a wake-up call. If we haven't learnt that now, what else is it going to take before we do? All right, the collapse of societies as we know it. All right, let's have a look. The volatility. I'm just getting the fog, that pollution, the ozone layer, and of course changes, the volatility of Earth. So how far are we going to push things before we understand that we actually do need leaders who are going to bring forward change? Unfortunately, we've seen that the only thing that leads to change is a tragedy on a large enough scale to motivate and inspire us to take action and change. But first to David Attenborough. Let's have a look. David Attenborough. What's jumped out here? The Eight of Cups. Yeah, turning away. This is, I do feel Earth turning away. If we are not in sympathy, if we are not in accordance with the Earth, she will turn her back. All right, that is the natural order of things. So, David Attenborough, show me. I want to do a chakra reading, please, Spirit, on David Attenborough. We will look at his root chakra, his sacral chakra, his solar plexus chakra, his heart chakra, his throat chakra. I would expect his throat chakra to be quite strong because of his communication, and his third eye and crown chakra. So let's take a look, please. David Attenborough, and his chakras. Yeah, okay, so I feel he's like what you would call a straight shooter. So I don't think he muddles the facts. I think he shoots with the truth. He takes aim and he shoots with the truth. And he does that relatively easily. It's not something he has to think about. It comes naturally to him. All right, so let's go. The Page of Pentacles in the root chakra. So, that's not surprising. The root chakra is about our alignment with the world around us, our trust, our strength in the world around us. Sometimes, if we've been let down in childhood, that will show up here. But the Page of Pentacles is somebody that is forever in awe of something. The page is always somebody that starts out on that journey and does so with their feet on the ground. Okay, we can see in this card that things are coming off this page that this person is juggling here, seemingly going out into the world. So at a very young age, I feel that he already had it in mind. He was going to be a communicator of some description. The Eight of Pentacles in his sacral chakra. This is his work. Okay, so the sacral chakra is where we get our confidence from. It is our creativity as well as our sexuality and the way that we present to the world. You can see self-esteem problems in the sacral chakra. In cases where there has been that lack of self-esteem growing up. But David Attenborough has always worked hard, and that has been the way that he has chosen to do this. He has a skill to offer. He was born with a skill. This was his calling. Look, I'm getting pentacles. What are pentacles? Earth energies. So he's got in his base and his sacral chakra, his root chakra, he's got this connection with the earth, and working with the earth, I feel. Let's have a look at his solar plexus. Okay, this is the getting of wisdom. Now, this is an interesting card because what this is telling me is that he is able to see. The Hanged Man is suspension. It's almost somebody in trance. It's somebody that has to look at something a different way to get insight, turning oneself upside down. So he was going to always do something that would present people with another way of looking at things. And that was what he did. I mean, look at the greenness of this Hanged Man. That is what he did to learn. That was him learning. All those documentaries that he made was him not just chronicling history, natural history, not just bringing us the most beautiful visions and footage of our earth that we would otherwise not be able to access, but this was him also learning as well, because that's what the solar plexus is. It's about wisdom, and it's about chakra and the getting of that wisdom. No wonder anything he does now, because he's spent his whole lifetime learning, you can bet will be worth listening to. So when he says, unless we learn, unless if we fail to act, this could lead to the collapse of our societies. Listen to it, because that's the collective wisdom that he has drawn over a lifetime. The heart chakra, the Seven of Wands. So this is his advocacy work for the earth. It's interesting. Advocates, warriors come in all shapes and sizes, don't they? David Attenborough, you can look at people like Greta Thunberg and others who are earth warriors. David Attenborough is just as much an earth warrior as the best of advocate that perhaps puts himself in front of the bulldozer, changed themselves to the tree. David Attenborough is defending the earth in his beautiful work, in his beautiful documentaries. Let's have a look at his throat chakra. I'll just bring that one over there. So we've got really these lower chakras here, and we're moving now into the middle chakras, the heart, the throat, and then moving up into the higher chakras, our third eye and our crown. So our heart chakra. Our throat chakra, isn't that beautiful? Sorry, yes, our throat chakra, giving and receiving help. So his documentaries are actually helping the earth. This is his way. This was what he was meant to do. And it is, I'm seeing the pull to the next generations here, that his work is being handed down and could have heavily influenced the next generation. What a beautiful card. What a beautiful card. All right, let's take a look at his, that's his throat chakra, giving and receiving help. Look at the number of pentacles in this spread, running through, earth energy running through his chakras. Let's have a look at his third eye, the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, unfortunately, he has seen the loss here, the Five of Pentacles. His work to highlight the beauty of the earth is being done to show exactly what we could lose, or what we have lost and what we could lose. And that is an intuition with him as well. So his work is being informed by his intuition, his hunches, that he knows where to go next to film. You'll find any communicator has that intuitive sense of of the stories that need to be told. Let's see his crown chakra, the Eight of Wands, things coming forward very, very quickly. This is his connection with spirit. So in a way, he was here to warn us. He came into this life. I haven't looked at his astrology chart, but I'm sure I would see in his astrology chart his purpose to come here and inspire us to act, inspire us to change. So on the bottom of the pack is introspection and reflection. Beautiful. I'm just getting that Avatar sense there. That the movie to consider and contemplate the beauty that's around us. All right, let's take a bit of a clarification here. I'm just thinking about what I will use to clarify. Bear with me because I want it to be the right deck. What have I got my hands on here? Okay, so being in line with the energy that is around us, the energy of ourselves and the energy that is around us. So I'm going to clarify with my Radiant Rider-Waite. Let me just give this a good shuffle and tune into those energies again. David Attenborough. Beautiful energies flowing through these chakras, and I'm not surprised that he's working with the earth, but he's working in terms of allowing us to see the things that we wouldn't normally see, and from that understanding our world better, and also the knowledge that we have to protect our world. All right, so let's take a look at the first card, the Page of Pentacles. You know, this is this awe. I wouldn't be surprised if he did field trips in his youth, you know, that he was always running around the countryside studying things, because I see here an awe, a growing awe of the earth in his root chakra, in his base chakra. That's how he learned his first trust in the world. I feel that there would have been a level of benignness, or, you know, his family life would have been reasonably supportive, passive, but his first relationship would have been developed with the earth as a very young child. I feel he understood the earth, or he had a keen observation, I feel, which is why he became a natural historian, a chronicler of the Earth's story. So let's have a look at the Page of Pentacles. Show me this Page of Pentacles. Show me this Page of Pentacles. Yeah, he may have seen, when I say the he was very, I won't even try and pronounce that, fastidious in his observations, and he perhaps could pick up where, because this is the Nine of Wands, could pick up where the earth was, I guess, languishing. He came at a time where we need to change. And he grew up and he saw those changes in time. And he also saw the quickening of that. So his place as a natural historian would give him unique insight into changes, what changed in time. And of course, why those changes were there. So he's acutely aware of the leadership that we have had during this time, and what that leadership has meant, and how that leadership has used and abused our natural environment. All right, let's have a look at the Eight of Pentacles in his sacral chakra. This is the work card, the Eight of Pentacles, another earth energy, working with the earth. Show me the Eight of Pentacles for David Attenborough. All right, so yeah. Terribly inspired, because look here, we have his crown chakra, purpose and meaning, of course, to bring forward as much as he can in the time that he's got, but also to chronicle and record the changes in the earth. That's his life's work. He's been so very his body of work is just enormous. The Page of Swords, okay, bringing forward enlightenment through communication and his commitment to Earth, the contract, the love, the relationship he has with the planet. No one could deny that someone who can produce those wonderful documentaries does not have a unique perspective and relationship with the Earth. All right, let's take a look at the Hanged Man, which is interesting because it's in the solar plexus chakra, the getting of wisdom. What do we need to know here? He may have struggled also with reconciling what we do to the earth as a society. He may have struggled with that and perhaps got quite disenchanted, even though you don't see that in his documentaries. I feel he may have done personally. Show me this Hanged Man. Show me this Hanged Man. Yeah, the Six of Cups, going back to the past, seeing the perspective, seeing the truth. So going back and seeing the earth and the changes, the rapid changes that have come upon us as a result, largely as a result of industrialization and development. So he saw these changes very, very quickly, and he was able to bring forward the truth in the documentaries. So again, I go back to his status as a natural historian. What does a historian do? They record the truth for future generations. The Five of Pentacles, I feel that, again, I get this draw to, this is his heart chakra. This is the Five of Pentacles, is about loss. He could have even, I don't know much about his background other than his public persona, but he could have even gone into hock to produce these documentaries, because I see here somebody that, is on the outside of things. He probably would have not been comfortable. He'd want to do his own thing, put it that way. But he does see the loss here. Show me this. Show me this card here, the Five of Pentacles, the loss here. Yeah, we've got the Victory card here, the Six of Wands. We've got the Two of Cups, okay, and we've got the Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords is a decision-making time in order to put off that loss. Talked about aligning with the earth, not seeing ourselves as separate. Let's pull another card. Yeah, it's time for new starts. He saw the loss as it was, and he realized very early on that unless we, and I guess the culmination of his work is climate change, the facts, unless we make those changes, we are going to be, we're going to lose. We're going to lose. He knew that at a heart level very early on. Let's take a look at his communication. Quite surprisingly, the Seven of Wands. Well, perhaps not surprisingly, standing one's ground. If you look at when he started producing his documentaries, it was probably not popular to be a natural environmentalist or historian. He may have left a commercial world in order to do this, but this is standing your ground and self-defense, and as I said, earth warriors come in all shapes and sizes. Show me this Seven of Wands, please. Yeah, time for review. This is around us reviewing our future here, reviewing what we're doing to the earth, and of course here's that Eight of Cups that jumped out. This is loss, and loss on a fairly large scale, and the Eight of Pentacles, needing to put in the work to prevent the loss. So that's really the energy around what he communicates, what he's always communicated, even in those early documentaries that just showed the beauty of the earth. It's time, really, it's a wake-up call for us. Let's have a look at his intuition, handing things down for new generations, handing a legacy down, recording history, and handing that down for for future generations, and you know, that's how his work will be remembered in time. I mean, you think about all that film in 100 years, viewing all of those habitats in 100 years, giving and receiving help. This is David Attenborough's intuitive third eye chakra. This is what he knew he had to do. So show me the Six of Pentacles. King of Cups, beautiful energy, being the benign parent. You know, you only have to listen to his narrations to know that this is the King of Cups energy that he brings forward, a mature soul, a healing soul, providing us with answers. And this is his travel too, traveling all around the earth. He knew instinctively he had to do that to give us that illumination. And I have to say, there's been a lot of happiness that he's delivered through his films. There's been a lot of warm, I guess, moments for people as they see the beauty of nature opening up. So, again, intuitively, he knew what to do in order to bring the information through to us in a way that we could understand that. Now, let's take a look at the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands. Show me the Eight of Wands. Show me the Eight of Wands. Lots coming forward very quickly. Now, I think one of those cards came up in his early life, what I would call his early life, understanding the rate of change. That was something that would have been impressed upon him very early in life, the rate of change in nature. Show me the Eight of Wands. Okay, the Three of Wands, expansion, trade, commerce. These were things he thought about. Having to look at things in a different way. It's almost like he was divinely guided, and also to make those revelations. Yeah, and here we have our Six of Pentacles, which intuitively he knew what to do and how to do it early in life. The world, trying to inspire the world at the base of the pack, inspire the world to make the decisions that it needs to make to change things. What I see with David Attenborough, we all have our life contracts that we come into this earth with, our purpose, our meaning behind what we choose to do. He came into this earth with a particular purpose. This was his purpose to inspire us to change and to make those decisions collectively to change what we're doing. But if we don't change, we've got all the information, we've got all the opportunity to change, just as we did with the coronavirus. We knew that viruses were on the way. We had pandemic, departments set up which were closed. We sat back and didn't heed the warnings when we saw it. Is this going to be the same? Is this what is going to happen to us with climate change? So let's ask that. Is it too little, too late? Can we actually change the way that we do things, or do we have to have this wake-up call, this, I won't say Armageddon-like event, but a major, major catastrophe? Do we have to have that before we wake up? Is there any hope, Spirit, that we can learn the lessons and save the earth? It comes down to that. Save our earth. It's not so much, I'm feeling it's not so much saving the earth, it's saving ourselves. All right. Can we learn? Can we learn and save ourselves? This is a last ditch opportunity. Your final warning. We've lost so much. You're being given something here. In a way, the virus, if you look at my New Earth readings, the virus was the wake-up call. Are we going to learn? I've got the Eight of Cups here. No, there's going to be more loss, unfortunately. And it comes right down to leadership. So here's the answer to your question. Look to your leaders. If you can see earth policies, that protect the environment, that understand that we are part of the earth and aligned, and the natural order will have its way. and we will have these natural disasters until things change. Look to your leaders, because they will tell you. That's your prediction. If your leaders aren't reflecting those policies, and here we have the smug merchant. So, control, the Emperor taking control, and the Ten of Swords. No, so this is showing me that it's going to have to, we're going to have more wake-up calls even before we actually learn. So unless nothing changes, we're on the same trajectory as David Attenborough warned us. If we fail to act, this could lead to the collapse of our societies. People are rightly anxious about this with that Nine of Cups, and they will take it out at the polls, in the ballots. They want to see environmental policies. They are aware of the deception and the deceit, the cover-ups, and they will make this. They will make it known at the ballot. The judgment card, something coming to an inevitable ending, moving on, healing. You're going to see more of a King of Cups, more of a return to this kind of leadership, where not only this is the benign parent, this is the balanced and mature leadership, somebody who's not entirely focused, just on that greed and making money, and understanding that the only thing that matters is today and the stock market, moving away from that to a more balanced approach and understanding that we do have to care for the earth that we are a part of and that we live on, because the earth will simply do what the earth has always done and eradicate what is no longer working for her and for other species that live on this planet as well. Okay, so that wasn't an easy reading for me, because I felt that there were times in that reading where, I was seeing no hope. And then of course I've found hope. So there's always hope. That is there, but there must be change. There must be change. That is the hope that there will be change, enough change. But unfortunately, I feel we're going to have more wake-up calls until we are forced to come to that table and do things differently. All right, I will leave that there. Thank you for tuning in, viewers, and thank you for all your wonderful, wonderful support for my channel.